Welcome to the It's All Fine and Danjee podcast, where hosts Dan and Angie talk with creatives, small business owners, charities, and all kinds of interesting people. It's all real talk. It's all fine and Danjee.
Hi guys, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking a listen onto what's going on in our lives right now.
Taking a listen.
You like that?
I do.
That's
Sounds
my
like
new catchphrase.
The Beverly Hillbillies, where they say, set a spell, take your shoes off. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Well, I have a little bit of country in me.
Well, we are heading for the mountains.
Well, yes, we are. So we do want to let you guys know this will be our I don't want to say our very last show, but our very last regular show that is coming to you from Florida.
But we're going to do some more from Florida, right?
Yeah, definitely. But I'm just saying like our regular weekly this is our last one that we're recording here at our little apartment in Eustis.
Yeah, that's right. And we're going to continue to do local small business stuff at Apopka and in the Lake County area as well. We've already mentioned that we're going to be back every May and October.
Yeah, right in between October and November.
Yeah. So we're going to jam in some interviews there, catch up with some old friends, maybe make some new friends. But we're also going to be talking about local small business in North Carolina. So
that's right.
I was thinking about this before we recorded this one. This is a great opportunity for us to talk to those of you in Central Florida that may be going up there for vacation or even moving up there, and vice versa. This is a great opportunity if you're in North Carolina and you're headed for Florida. There's a lot of traffic in between the two. But when we talk about Central Florida specifically, like we're going to do this episode, I was thinking this is also a good opportunity if you're visiting Florida, if you're from Florida, or if you're staying currently in our Airbnb and you want to know of some cool things to do in the area.
That's right.
Then when we talk about the businesses here and some of the things we've done, it'll give you a good idea of that.
Yeah, and really, when most people are traveling to Central Florida, which is right where we are at, Apopka is like dead smack central.
Yeah,
right?
Very central.
Most people are coming to do the theme parks and things like that.
Yeah.
So really all the stuff that we're talking about is right in that area. It's going to be great for people to be able to experience what we've been able to while we've lived here.
Yeah. And ironically enough, most of our renters up to this point haven't been here. They've been here for like weddings and all kinds of stuff that we never thought of before. Yeah. So it's very interesting.
And most of them have been from Florida, just like more south.
Yeah.
Which I found very interesting. But we have had I think I've had like 4 bookings now. Some haven't stayed yet, but they're 4 weddings at a couple of the venues we have
that are
in our
near us.
area.
Yeah, I love that.
So we have the Highland Manor right in Apopka. And then we also have the, Club Plantation.
Oh, nice.
Over there right off of Rock Springs Road. And
Yeah.
we've had several people stay just for those wedding venues.
Love that. The things you learn.
Cool.
Yeah.
I know.
So this is, a lot of the time we'll say, oh, we're so busy, blah, blah, blah. And
whenever you just said we, my brain went, so
we, I don't know if it's interesting or annoying or whatever sometimes when we say how busy things have been, but in the past, I would say 5 weeks between the two of us, we've been to Toronto, Tennessee, Vegas, and getting ready to be North Carolina. It's been a lot of moving around.
Yeah.
A lot of moving around.
It has been. It's been, yeah, I like it like that though.
I do too.
I don't ever want to complain. I mean, sometimes you're like, okay, it's just,
yeah.
woosah, right?
Yeah.
But I like it. I like it when it's busy like that.
I do too, and I'm not complaining. I just once we get up to North Carolina, and we are recording this like 1 week before we move, so we are down to the wire for sure.
Literally 1 week before the day we drive off in the U-Haul.
The
truck.
Yeah. But in the past few weeks, I have been up to Toronto in Canada to go to Microsoft's headquarters up there and meet with the enterprise team from Microsoft. And I'll save you the details of all the techie stuff for those of you that aren't into it. But let's just say,
last week was our techie stuff.
I know it's everywhere.
Kind of
it's the world.
Podcast. All right. So tune into that one if you want to hear the techie stuff, guys.
Yep. But I have been, along with other colleagues at my company, we have been piloting Microsoft's AI built into Microsoft Word and Excel and PowerPoint and Microsoft Office. Super exciting stuff. It was really fun to go up there. It's a beautiful city that I don't think I've ever been downtown there. But it was really nice. The office was really nice there too.
Yeah, and all nerdiness aside, this stuff is really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little intimidating, you know what I mean? It can be a little scary to think about it, but it's
neat.
It's such a great tool to use in, like we talked about last week, for small businesses, big, whatever businesses, even your personal, day-to-day correspondence that you might have, that you have to send out more professional sounding emails or something like that. It's really cool stuff that's coming out.
It really is. And even, like JK talked about from Propagate Social House, if you're writing blogs for your company or responding to customer service.
I thought you meant the lady who wrote Harry Potter.
JK. Well, in the last episode, you said, let's call JK. So I was leaning on that.
I gave him that name. Look at that. You're welcome, Jay.
But, you can use it to compose blogs and to compose emails to your customers and all that kind of stuff. It really does help. So without going down the rabbit hole there, Toronto was a nice visit. And, I was only back for a week before we took off for Tennessee.
Yeah. So we went up to Knoxville for a Halloween party. Mm-hmm. And we had our fun we had a fun Halloween costume this past year.
We did not go all out.
We didn't go all out.
But we had to travel.
But next year when we go to Craig and Daisy's for their Halloween party, if we do, we will go all out. Because we're only 2 hours away.
Yeah. You know what would be neat is if we can squeeze in their party and the Hard Rock Hotel party.
I doubt it, but it could happen.
Well,
we had a blast there, though.
Oh, we did. We
you know
did.
What I mean?
That
it
is
was
why
kind of nice having like a little bit of a smaller crowd.
Agreed.
You can kind of socialize a little more and have nice conversations and stuff. So I liked that.
Let's see what we can do with the dog. Maybe we could be jet setters if we can get someone to watch the dog.
I like the sound of that.
We did say that one of the reasons we're coming back in October is for the party. So,
yeah,
it wouldn't make sense to come back if we're going to the Tennessee party.
Well, we only said we were going to come back for the Hard Rock party if they go back to the old ways. I'm not going there again if they do.
No,
the type of bands that they do.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't our speed.
And look, I have one boy band I like, okay?
Let me guess.
NSYNC.
Is it NSYNC?
Yeah, I gave it away.
But we also, last time we spoke to you guys, we were just getting ready to go to Pisces Rising. We had Rachel on the show a few weeks before. I had never been there before. I had been to Back Porch Pizza, but I'd never been to Pisces Rising.
Speaking of AI, Dan is recording his whole conversation that he's saying right now on our notes.
Into the notes. But it was really, really good. And I know that we all talked about how good it was going to be and blah, blah, blah. But I really enjoyed it. We went to Back Porch Pizza and had a drink. And I got to say, it was hard to go in there and have a drink and see the pizzas.
Yeah, because it's right in front of your face. You're sitting right at the bar.
There was some sort of an appetizer also that they have that was...
the sushi nachos.
Yeah, sushi nachos. Oh, They look so good. And the guy right next to Angie got them. So I'm like, do we want to try to get an appetizer here? But we held out just so we had room.
Yeah, it was nice.
Pisces.
They always have just great, interesting takes on their cocktails.
Yeah.
So that was, I think I did an espresso martini with Parmesan cheese on the top, like shaved.
Yeah.
It was interesting because the flavors kind of go together. It's like a wine and cheese pairing almost is what it reminded me of. So it was really good. But
and then at Pisces Rising, they gave us a little tour of the
yes.
We told them, hey, Rachel was just on. They're like, oh, yeah, well, check it out. And they walked us around, and you can kind of see. It's weird because I didn't realize this when we were talking to her, but the first part of the restaurant that you walk into is kind of the outside, right outside the house that it used to be maybe the porch, but you're actually inside.
Yeah. It's just built up around the actual, so the center of the house they've built around it.
Yeah, it's like a room inside the middle of the restaurant is the original house with the stairs leading up and everything. It was really neat. We took a tour of that.
But even the size of that house, you can tell it was for somebody that was probably a little more affluent. Am I saying that right?
You are.
Like wealthy or, you can tell by the size of the house because even like the kitchen quarters or the dining room quarters were quite large.
Yeah, they were big and no one was in there. So I think maybe that's the overflow. And
well, she said that's where they do like special occasion. That's
Yeah.
where you rent out for special occasions.
Oh, very nice.
that's
One of
not-
us wasn't paying good enough attention.
Yeah,
Obviously.
that's not like where they're normally sitting you, probably for wear and tear and stuff like that is what I would think too.
Yeah.
They're saving that for the special events.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah,
It's a very cool
love
place. But anyway, and then a week after that, I went to Las Vegas for the week to go to Autodesk University that I do every year. And those of you that have been listening for a while are probably like, yeah, we knew this was coming, or here we go again with Autodesk University. I'll just say this. A lot of talk about AI there. A lot of talk about Autodesk AI. Every company's coming out with their own version of AI. So it's going to be an interesting...
And Ryan Reynolds was there.
Ryan Reynolds was there.
And he asked why I haven't signed up for Mint Mobile yet.
He did ask. He did ask that. And
And remember what I told you to ask him?
I do. I forgot what he said, though.
Yeah.
I sent
He
you what
never answered.
oh, no,
Did
he
he?
did. Yeah, I forgot what he said, but something about saving money.
I haven't done it. I haven't pulled that plug yet.
I was in the same room with Ryan Reynolds. Yes, I
Yeah.
was. Yeah, he was...
What was he talking about again?
we just kind of talked about what's going on in our lives, and
Yeah. He's cool.
I don't know. He was a tiny dot from where I was sitting. I could barely see him on the Jumbotron screen, but he was talking about being an entrepreneur and
Yeah.
the state of change. And, that's how it sort of ties into Autodesk University. But he was himself, and I really do like him. I know most people do, but he was throwing the curses out there and being sarcastic and being the Ryan Reynolds we all know at this big corporate tech event, which was awesome because part of me was like, what's he going to get all buttoned up and be all overly corporate? And he wasn't. He was himself. So it was pretty cool.
Well, that makes you respect me even more because he's not changing who he is just because he's at a different event. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
He's like, this is who I am. I'm successful.
Yeah.
So maybe you guys want to like shut up
Get on
and
board.
listen. Take notes, people. This is how you become successful like I am.
Well, once you're successful to that degree,
It makes it a little easier. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not still easy to lose money because he's made great business decisions, but apparently, I don't know. It was cool to hear him do his little spiel. But the bulk of my week was in technical sessions and taking notes and trying to learn everything there is to know about AI as it relates to my field. Interesting. By the end of the week, you're mentally taxed, and
Yeah. It's a full work week when you're there, for
It
sure.
really is. And then by the time I get back home, Angie is here for 2 days, and then she's gone house sitting and dog sitting. So we're like ships in the night lately.
So I don't know if I mentioned this on an earlier show, but I like to do these difficult scenarios where I put us into these difficult situations to test everything about a relationship and just everything. And so I decided the last 2 weeks while we're trying to pack up and move, I'm going to house sit.
Yep. And let me
Right
add
up
this.
until the last day that we move.
Right. This is us together, but this is how bad we are. Right. The day before I leave for Vegas, we go on like a 6-mile kayaking trip with the dog. And we started to mention this a little bit in the last one, but that was for Angie's birthday. We saw the monkeys and we saw
Manatees.
the manatees, and
I cried.
Angie
It was
started
amazing.
crying.
Only because it's really the first time I've ever seen them. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure they've been in the water and I've seen them at like, from a distance at like a spring or something. You know what I mean? But this is very intimate.
Yeah.
They're very curious. They're
Yes.
right next to you. They don't give a crap that you're there. They're not afraid of you.
Yep.
They're bigger than you. You know what I mean?
For Angie's birthday, she got intimate with the manatees and then cried. That's what happened.
It was amazing.
It was
It was
amazing.
so amazing. And our dog was very curious of them. It was a good day.
It really was. And so I leave for Vegas the next day, and Angie goes again on that same
Yes, I
kayaking
did.
trip, but with the ladies in the family this
Yeah.
time. So that was
Yeah, we
really
did.
cool.
And that was really cool. We didn't see any of the little monkeys. We only saw that big one that was like people have been feeding this big male monkey, and he's, it's not very safe, people.
The one at the ramp?
Yes, that's the only one that they got to see.
Oh, so can I tell you guys, we stop. We see all these monkeys way off in the woods. We stop about halfway. There's like a bathroom so you can get out, stretch your legs and pee or whatever. So I get out. I'm pulling my kayak up out of the way. There's a bunch of people there. And this guy goes, watch out, there's a monkey right behind you. And I thought he was messing around. And I turn around and there's a monkey right behind. And these are the kind of monkeys that, do you know what they're called? Like the type of
I think
monkeys?
they're Mancoon, aren't they?
I don't
Or
know. Thought that was a cat.
Oh, maybe. don't know.
I don't know
We'll
either.
have to look it up.
I just know you hear like they can be mean and they have herpes and all this kind of stuff. So I'm like slowly walking away. Yeah, he was too close.
Well, he was pretty docile because he's just sitting there just waiting for people to give him food.
Yep.
And he's so fat.
Yep.
You know, he's just this big male and no other monkeys around. And you know that the reason he's there is because he didn't tell anybody else. No.
About the food spot.
No, this is his secret food spot.
Where are you going, Bill? I'm just going for a walk again.
I just gotta get away from you guys.
You keep getting heavier and you're doing more and more walks. Oh boy. Anyways, but I had the dog too, so I don't know how dogs and monkeys and dogs and
yeah. So we didn't even get out there because people were feeding them. We even scolded a couple people for doing it. Mm-hmm. And then the whole last quarter of the kayaking trip that we had a manatee following us the whole entire time.
How cool is that?
And it was and he was not in a rush. He was just like hanging right, like he'd swim right underneath one of our kayaks each time. He'd pop up for air. I mean, it was just so cool.
Wow, they are out.
We named him George.
Oh, nice. What's the name of that river?
That is the Silver Springs River.
That is the Silver Springs River.
And it's pretty, like the day me and you went, the sun was out, so we could really see them very clearly. It was very cloudy the day we went on Sunday.
Oh.
So you had to really be
looking close,
or you'd see them right when they were next to you. But there was still a lot that day.
Yeah. Well, I would say just to anyone coming into town or that's staying local, if you want to go kayaking and you want to see the manatees and the monkeys, it seems like this is about the time of year to go.
Yeah, it's when it's the colder months because they're coming up into the springs because the water is like 72, 74 degrees year round.
Yeah.
So they're traveling up into that warmer water.
To keep it warmer for them, yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Even though I don't know why they need it. They got so much fat on them. I don't understand.
I don't either, but that's how it works.
But that is what they do. But we are gearing up, guys. So Dan's at the apartment. I'm house sitting, but I'm coming back and forth so that I can spend time with them because I can't.
A little bit. A few hours here and there.
Yeah, but I can only leave those dogs max like 4 hours. Like we're recording the podcast right now and I got to, as soon as we're done,
pack it up and
let them out.
Yeah.
And then I'm also training for my new position with MFT that will be a remote position at home.
Yeah.
So that's been going on this past couple weeks.
I know. It's so crazy. And you and I are going to be both working from home. We get up there. It'll be the first time we've ever done that together.
I know.
It's going to be very cool.
It's going to be an adjustment for me because I'm such a mover and shaker with work. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I think that is one of the things that we've been kind of doing now is I'm sitting down at work and learning everything. And that's kind of getting me in the mindset of, okay, you have to sit for this amount of time and get this stuff done, you know?
And meanwhile, I'm so programmed, you'll see when you're home with me, when I'm in meetings, which is most of the day, or calls, they're not always planned meetings, I'm like totally zoned out. And, you know, it's almost like I'm not here.
Well, and it's a little harder for me because I'm down there and I know that there's so much, we have so many orders right now because it's Black Friday weekend, right?
Oh, it's crazy.
We've been crazy. And I know everybody's back there hustling and bustling and I want to get up and go do it. But I have to sit and get these things done. Then when I get to a stopping point, I can get up and go help.
Yeah.
So it's been crazy. And we're also gearing up for December 2nd downstairs in the boutique at My Favorite Things. We're doing a big Christmas party for all the customers. So,
how nice.
Yeah. So anyway.
That's awesome. Well, so for those of you in the Central Florida area, downtown Eustis, you reminded me of this, Angie, they are doing every Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. from here until Christmas, I believe. They are doing snow down at the down at the lake.
Fair and Park,
Yeah, Fair and Park. So every half hour between 6 and 9, they've got all the trees lit up, all the streets lit up. It's beautiful down there. So if you wanted something kind of cool and casual to do, they got some vendors set up. There's the shops are open. It's a really cool little, kind of low-key thing to do. Also, we had our big going away party at the Wekiva Island. Shout out to Bill and Mary Weinog. I wish you guys could have made it, but it was a fantastic event.
It was perfect.
Friends and family came to say goodbye and hang out with us, and it was bittersweet, but it was really nice just to see everyone.
It was a fun night. We had a build your own nacho bar. So we made a bunch of, nachos.
16 pounds of hamburger.
16 pounds of hamburger, which Doug didn't get. Sorry, Doug.
Oh, here we go. We're going to get into that.
Doug didn't get it because we had some in a tin and I forgot to refill the crock pot and Doug didn't want to.
That up.
Doug didn't want to, eat all the rest of the hamburger that was in there, but there was 12 more pounds left, Doug. So I'm sorry that you didn't get to eat that night. Sorry.
Oh my goodness. But it was so nice to see everyone. It was really fun.
Yeah.
And, then we had Thanksgiving with the family. We went to visit my biological mom's side of the family, and it was really fun to see everyone. And, we don't see them very often. We hope that you guys had a very good Thanksgiving, however you do it. And, it's funny. I've talked to friends and family that we didn't see, and some people it's all these phases you go through when you get kind of older, or maybe you move away to college, but you're used to going with your family, and then it kind of morphs into either just you and your roommates, or you and your significant other, or you and your neighbors. And Angie and I are likely going to start getting a taste of that for some of these holidays, where they kind of change into something else. So regardless, we hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. It was fun seeing Mom and the family and all my siblings and all that.
And we've been trying to see everybody before we leave. I finally got to see my youngest son. We finally connected.
Yes, Logan and Hannah.
Yeah, we went and had some brunch with them and hung out for a little while. So, but we're only 8.5 hours away up in North Carolina. It's not that far. It's an hour and 15-minute flight.
Yep.
So anybody that, all the family, friends that want to come up and visit, we're going to look, calm down, not right away, okay? Give us some time
have people
to embrace the newness.
I could be there in January. We're like, well, hold on, let us get it set
up.
up.
Calm down, okay?
But the objective really has been, it's funny, Angie got inspired by the, I talk about you like you're not right here in front of me, but
I'm right here.
You got inspired by the Airbnb. And
really
so we've
did.
had a lot of talk about how we're going to decorate the place. And the guest bedroom, we are going to make it really nice. So it'll be an office.
Dan told me I have to make it like an Airbnb for when people come.
Yeah, because nobody wants to come up and sleep on a old school sleeper couch and your back hurts and you don't have all the accoutrements that you want.
No, so. I would love that too, because I do. Look, when I was younger, my kids were little, we did all the big hosting events, and I was a host, and I do like it. I just really like it in smaller, more intimate settings.
Yeah, me too.
Than big, large group settings.
Me too,
Even though our going away thing, it was fun. We had all the people there, and I do like when you can have more quality time with a smaller group of people.
Because you feel like you never got, even at the going away party.
I didn't feel like I didn't get to talk to Kelly and Matt very much, or Doug and Sand. You try to spread yourself, you know what I mean? But then you get into a conversation with somebody and you don't want to leave it, you know?
Right.
So anyway,
so
that will be one of the things that I look forward to when we are hosting people in North Carolina.
Me
and I
too.
hope people come to see us.
They will. I think they will. And we, we've talked to
We're not that bad to hang around.
A few friends and family that are interested in coming up, but we, we're already thinking, wow, the cool thing about it then is there's this very specific stuff to go do. So we're not sitting around the whole time. We can go ziplining and kayaking or whitewater rafting or visit the wineries or visit the breweries or hiking or biking or whatever. So we'll have some cool stuff sort of planned out for those of you that are planning to come stay with us.
Yeah.
And that's it. We're down to the 6 or 7 day.
We're down to the wire here, buddy.
Mark.
I'm over here, we're packing a little bit every day. We pretty much have the apartment packed. It's just that last minute stuff. You got to you're going to have those random boxes that just has a bunch of shit in it,
Yeah.
The shit box. No, don't label it that.
No, please don't label it that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in again. We're so happy to share this sort of journey with you, and we hope you enjoy the sort of updates on what we're doing. We'll have guests on as soon as we get our feet on the ground and we start meeting with guests out there. I think it'll be an interesting let's call it the progression of the show. This is our, what do you call it? I can't think of the word. I can't believe I can't think of the word. And it's
evolution?
Evolution.
I always say that.
I just took your spot
evolved.
of not being able to think of the word.
Look at that.
So this is the evolution of the show. So it'll be interesting to see how long it takes us to get our feet on the ground, to start trying some of the businesses there. We've already started to reach out to some we already know.
Yep.
That we
some
really
of our
like.
favorites up there.
Yeah. And
because we do vacation there.
Yeah.
So we have our favorites there. So those places are already going to get, hey, we come to your place every time we vacation. And by the way, here we are now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'll be a little forceful, I'm just saying.
Or the free advertising for now. Free for now. But anyway,
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for tuning in as always. And that wraps up the show this week.
That's a wrap, baby. And guys, remember, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, at the end of each and every day, it's all fine and dangy. Hi, guys. We hope you enjoyed the show today. If you did, we would love a review. So make sure to head over to your Apple Podcast app or whatever app you listen to your podcast on and give us a 5-star review. Also, give us a like and a follow on our social media. You can find that all under Fine and Danjee. And if you want to find out more about our guest or about us, head over to fineanddanjee.com.
It's almost like we had margaritas.